Hello everybody, my boys and squirrels. How you doing? You can't answer me because this is a video and I'm just talking to myself. So I will just get right into it. A lot of people have been asking me over the years, how do they get into porn? If you don't know, I am a porn star. I'm a adult performer. Adult pornographic actress is my favorite term. It's the one they use on Wikipedia. I'm a pornographic actress, and I have been one for about 4.5 years now, almost 5. I like to round up because it sounds better. And I've been getting a lot of questions over the years about how to get into porn and how to be successful in porn from men and women. Definitely more men, because I think men see other men doing it and just they see them as just getting laid all the time and they think it's easy and they want that life. So I'm going to explain to you exactly how to get into porn and be successful. I will try to give perspective for men. I personally am not a man, so I didn't get in the industry in the way that a man does. Also, it's different for everyone. I'm just going to explain what I did, and tips that I think would be helpful for people that want to do it in a way that is similar to me. So, let's do it. Number 1, do some research. If your first step is to message an adult performer on Instagram or Twitter and ask them to get you in or ask them to help you figure it out, you're not going to be successful. You have to be very independent, creative, and self-sufficient to actually succeed in this industry because there is so much oversaturation. There are so many people that want to be in it and want to do it that just aren't able to take that next step and to really go to that level and actually get in. Because you're sitting here DMing adult performers when you can just use Google. Google is our friend. Google's there to help us. So if you type into Google whatever question you're typing in the DMs of an adult performer, including myself, you're probably going to be able to find more information and not with any attitude from anybody who's tired of hearing the same fucking dumb questions in our DMs. So let's say you Google how to get into the porn industry. There's going to be articles. Read those articles. Read testimonies from people that actually have gotten in. I would say it used to be different, but nowadays the best way to get in is just start making your own content, start making a name for yourself. Nowadays, you don't necessarily need an agency, at least not when you're starting off, or it all depends on what you want to get out of this industry. If you want to do a lot of shoots for different companies, it would be helpful to have an agent. If you mostly just want to make a name for yourself and make a lot of money for yourself, I would say building your own brand and your own content and just starting to try and collaborate with other people is probably the best option. So do some Googles, do some research, take some notes, figure out what type of content creator you want to be. Do you want to be a porn star? Do you want to just be a content creator? Do you want to be a YouTuber that also does adult content? Do you want to be an Instagram model? Like, what do you want to do with your brand? Figure that out and then proceed accordingly, or do your research according to that. And that will help you narrow it down even more to find accurate information that can actually help you. So once you've done that, let's say you want to do what I did and you're either a girl or a boy or whatever, and you want to be successful in the adult industry, the mainstream industry that has companies like Brazzers, Evil Angel, Jules Jordan, Bang, Vixen, those brands. If you want to work for those brands, I highly recommend that you try to join an adult agency. The agencies have good relationships with the companies that have been going on for several years at least. The agents will be able to speak to the companies on your behalf and just get your face and your name out there in a way that you might not be able to do on your own in order to get to these companies. So what do? Google adult agencies. Figure out what agencies are out there and which ones are right for you. How I figured out how to go with my first agency was looking at all the different ones, seeing that this one that I chose was based on the East Coast, which at the time I was as well, so that was an appeal. And I looked at the roster, I recognized a couple faces, and I said, well, you know, they have to be somewhat reputable if they have created the successful careers of A, B, and C. So I took photos of myself. Usually on these agency sites, they will tell you exactly what you need when applying, and don't bother applying if you don't have these things. Usually you will need 2 identifications already right off the bat. So either passport, birth certificate, social security card, driver's license. Any 2 of those combinations should be sufficient. So you're gonna wanna take pictures of yourself with good lighting. I didn't know this when I first started, but a ring light, which is what I'm using right now, literally makes all the fucking difference in the world in just looking good, looking more professional. If you have like a blank white wall or something, like kind of like that right there, stand in front of the wall, take photos of yourself, full body, front, profile, and back. And send those to different agencies and see what they say. If you have the right look, which first of all, right off the bat, if you don't have the right look, you might not be able to get with an agency. And what I mean by the right look is there's no particular right look, but you need to sell. Like sex sells, you need to sell. And the agency needs to look at you and think that the company would be willing to invest money in the fact that you would sell and people would want to join their site to watch you fuck. So if you don't have that, you can't blame the agencies for not taking you, and you should figure out what it is you need to do in order to get that it factor. Not everyone has it. You can get it if you really try and you want to, but like you actually need to try and put effort. So if you're attractive, and you know the agent that is looking at your photos thinks that you could be good with their agency or that you have a shot at success in this industry, they will contact you. They will talk to you about what it takes to be with them, if you're ready for the commitment. Some agencies require you to sign a contract. In my opinion, the reputable ones usually don't. So I would say if you just feel uneasy about anything, just ask questions. If they're not willing to clarify any and everything and make you feel comfortable with the process, don't go with them, because the last thing you want to do is be locked into a 3 to 7 year contract. Yes, 7 years. Some people are actually convinced to sign a contract that will last for 7 years of their life. And then it's like, it won't necessarily hold up in court per se, but companies do respect those contracts. And at the end of the day, it's really just about our little like social circle. And if the companies respect the agent more than they do you, they're not going to work with you if you're under contract and you're trying to work around it. So don't sign any predatory contract unless you're absolutely certain that it's what you want and it's what you're gonna want in however long the contract lasts. But ideally, you shouldn't have to. Any good agent doesn't make you sign a piece of paper forcing you to do something you don't want to do. If it's a good agent, they will just coast on their reputation and the fact that, you know, their actions speak for themselves. So that is what I have to say in regards to agencies. You know, you don't need an agency. I definitely think that starting out, it is important and necessary. When you start to kind of build your brand and build relationships with companies and directors, then you could get away with self-booking. You might not work as often because a lot of the time bookings come from companies contacting agencies needing a last minute replacement or someone to come fill in or do an extra part. And it's just whoever's available that day or for the following day gets the shoot. So a lot of shoots that I've done over the years have been shoots that weren't even supposed to be me originally, and I just happened to be available. Some of the shoots that I've literally won awards for were shoots that I filled in for somebody at the last minute. So that is about agencies. I think that once you're in porn and you're trying to figure out how to be successful, the number one thing that I suggest is find your niche and stick to it, and make sure that niche is something that can last forever and isn't ever going to go out of style or you're gonna outgrow it. I see a lot of girls get in the industry at 18 years old, which, you know, it is what it is. And they decide that their niche or their brand that they're gonna be promoting is your favorite 18-year-old or your favorite girl born in the year, blah, blah, blah. And if the only thing that you're putting out there and you have to offer is the year you were born or the age that you are right now, you're not going to be able to coast by on that forever because you will not be 18 forever. I joined porn at 19 and people, you know, they marveled at that. They love a nice hot 19-year-old blonde girl. Now I'm a 23-year-old brunette girl. So I wouldn't have been able to coast by on being a blonde or being young or even being petite because I'm still petite, but I've gained weight. It's like things change about our physical attributes. And I think unless you have then, you know, you're not going to be able to coast by on those physical attributes and create like a long lasting successful brand. Or it can be part of that, but you need more. You need like several different things to go into that along with your physicality. So I suggest don't focus on your age if you're trying to build a brand and focus on a niche and gain fans. Don't focus so much on your age because also the fans that you will gain from your age that are like, oh, it's so hot that you're 18 or 19, those people, they are just fans of 18-year-olds in general. So they're just always going to stick with the newest 18-year-old girl. They're not really the type of fans that you want to focus on as much. You want to focus on the fans that appreciate you for who you are and what you offer in your scenes and in general. So my advice is figure out what you enjoy doing or what you're good at in porn and fucking do it. Once you get in, don't do anything that you are only doing for other people. Don't do anything that you don't at least a little bit want to give it a shot. Like if you're doing something solely because someone told you you'll get more popular, you'll make more money from doing this, don't do it because you're going to hate yourself. There are certain things that I have done. I don't hate myself, but I definitely look back and I'm just like, really wish that I wouldn't have done that or that I didn't do it in that particular way and I didn't let somebody kind of pressure me into doing that. When you're brand new in porn, there will be a lot of people in your ear telling you to do this and that and this is how you be successful. You need to trust your own instincts and trust your agent if you have a good agent, which if you listen to what I just said in this video, hopefully you will. But trust your own instincts. Do everything because you want to do it and think of the bigger picture. Don't do things in the moment just because you think it would be fun. Find that balance between wanting to try things because you want to experiment, so it will be that genuineness that shows on camera, and also doing things because you're thinking long term and you're thinking big picture and, you know, this is how you secure the most loyal fan base. I got in the industry. I don't have big breasts. I don't have a big butt. I've always been super petite. But I came in and I do high energy scenes. I love what I do and it shows on camera. And I do a lot of butt stuff. And that is a hugely popular niche in the adult industry. It has been for years and I think it always will be. People are always going to love anal and DPs and just that type of content is really never going to go out of style. So I don't want to say obviously do anal, but if you are trying to figure out what it is that you have to offer, you know, try putting something up your butt. Just try it in private first, figure out if you like it. Obviously, if you're not into it, don't do it. But if it's something that, you know, intrigues you or that you're interested in, no harm will ever be done, in my opinion, from doing anal. A lot of people like to say that you shouldn't do it right away because it's better to wait, because more benefits can come for your career or you can make more money. The way I did it, I did anal 6 months into my career. I didn't wait a long time at all. And I've been doing anal for the last 4 years, pretty much nonstop. I've done countless anal scenes. I've won awards for my anal scenes. I'm known for my fucking anal scenes. People know that when it's a Jane Wilde anal scene, you're gonna get a fucking show. And in order to build a brand like that, you really need to love what you do, and you really need to be certain that that's what you want to do. So, with that being said, that's pretty much all the advice I can have. Everybody's career is different, and everybody's start in the industry is different. Obviously, I know more about being a woman in this industry. I don't know much about being a man. I definitely think the agency stuff applies for girls and guys, because there are agencies that take guys as well. The stuff about not doing stuff you're uncomfortable with, that applies to guys too. There's a lot of sites nowadays that expect men to be getting their ass eaten in, bent over and pile driver positions. And I say kudos to the men that are comfortable with that. But if you're not, don't let anyone pressure you and act like you have to do that kind of content, because you don't. You can be perfectly successful doing the type of content that makes you feel comfortable. I'm just sharing what has worked for me, and I wish you the best of luck. If you have any questions, please comment them below, and I may answer some of them. But I hope that this was a nice little package of information for people that are constantly DMing porn stars. How can I get into porn? What do I do? I literally just told you. So if you still can't figure it out after this, you probably wouldn't be able to make it, because this industry chews up stupid people and spits them out like tobacco. So with that, I wish you the best of luck on your journey getting into porn, and I bid you farewell.